Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Prashant Gopinathan here. We are going to discuss line by line analysis of the complete NCRT. What is basically what I say basically is nothing but the holy grail of your NEET exam, right? So the logic is simple. If you want to become a doctor, if you want to qualify the NEET exam, just do one thing: stick on the NCRT, decode the NCRT, understand the NCRT line by line. So we have discussed the first line of chapter number 14, 11 class 11 biology. We are now going to discuss the second line, which is what happens when we breathe, right? So let me just put it one more time. What happens when we breathe? So the question, though basically at a physiological level, right? So the question is basically at a physiological level. The question is being asked basically at a physiological level, but I would insist we not answer this at a physiological level. Rather, we shall put it at the cellular level. Okay? So, when the question is asked, what happens when we breathe? What happens when we breathe? Guys, see, we as a human being and we as a cell, right? So, as a human being, basically what happens is we inhale oxygen, right? We inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide. Similarly, in a cell, we inhale oxygen and the cell liberates out carbon dioxide. But what is the fundamental difference here? The oxygen which is inhaled into the human beings here, that undergoes a well-defined process of, or to be more precise, a well-defined respiratory system. A well-defined respiratory system, which is basically responsible for the conversion of this intake of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide. And this respiratory system is nothing but a complex set of organ system. It's a complex set of organ systems, right? It's a complex system, organ system. I mean, of course, we know we have lungs, right? We have this nostrils, we all this breathing and exchange analysis, and that is for a reason we've been taught the chapter breathing and exchange of gases, right? Breathing and exchange. But though this is a very complicated process, everything complicated in the body is basically reflected by a small similar entity in the cell, right? Because we are made up of cells. So what is there inside a cell? A cell intakes oxygen, right? And using this oxygen, it burns the respiratory substrates, right? It burns the respiratory substrates, and as a byproduct, what is released? Carbon dioxide is released as a byproduct. So basically, if you observe, all of these are the same. The only difference here is this respiratory process here is basically due to simple diffusion, and there is no need of a complex organ system, right? So in spite of only this difference, the rest of the concept remains the same. What is it? Inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide. In humans, with a respiratory system; in cells, with just with the process of simple diffusion. So that is the fundamental point and the fundamental explanation behind the sentence here. What happens when we breathe? So this we I have explained you with two terms. One I have considered that as humans, and the other we have saw it in the perspective of cells. But in this chapter, we are not going to deal with as simple as a cell or as complex as a human being. Instead, we will be discussing this point in the intermediate level, at the level of plants. Okay? So, future doctors, we will not be discussing respiration in human beings, we will not be discussing respiration in the constitution of human beings, which is the cells. Rather, we shall make things more simple and then extrapolate the knowledge obtained here to human beings. Okay, class? Thank you. That's it from my end. This is Prashant Gopinathan signing off from the session. Meet you in the next video, the next sentence analysis, which is, do all living organisms, including plants and microbes, breathe? So if you basically observe, I just told you that we will be discussing everything with respect to plants, and the next sentence itself says that we shall see what happens with respect to plants. See, that is how meticulously this NCRT is being crafted. Each and every sentence is correlated, is connected. In fact, it's in a conceptual flow with either to the next sentence, to the next chapter, or even probably to the next textbook. If you're somebody, if an audience, somebody who was listening to the classes for, not for 11th and 12th, probably after 12th, if you basically observe these chapters, all of them are interconnected. It's a plethora of interconnected networks between these textbook lines. So, guys, that's it for the time being. Wish you all the best. See you in the next video. Thank you, class.